getting sick. Like, okay, if it negatively charges this and positively charges that, and then it's attracted and all that, fine, fine. But how long does it do that for? When this filter's reached the maximum limit, which is fairly high, it's like 200 gallons or something, does it just quit working all of a sudden? Or does it work a little worse as time goes by? Huh? Or does it work and they usually die from being plugged up? Second off, if I'm out using this filter and I get a little sediment in it, doesn't look to me like there's any way to clean it. So if it gets a little bit of sediment in it, am I like out in the cold? I can't use my filter anymore? Because my ceramic filter I can clean. But I don't think it can clean one of those. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't read it right. And this negative positive chemical thing, does that work on everything out there in my area? And can I be absolutely sure that every time it's going to work perfectly like a ceramic filter, or rather some variables there that I didn't quite understand or not? I guess what I'm trying to say, the bottom line here is, although it probably is a great rig, it's too complicated for the average person to understand because it's too much information. It's not a simple technology. It's quite a bit of chemistry in it, and most people just don't feel safe, having their life depend on something they don't understand to do with chemistry. Not saying it doesn't work, but I want to understand my water filter. So I won't be using these because I don't understand them. And yes, you probably can set me down and explain it all out to me and make me understand it. But it's fairly complicated, I'm pretty sure of that. And I don't, anything that's really complicated has too many variables for me. I'm just a simple guy. I put the water in my MSR filter. When it comes out the other end, the only thing that comes out is 0.2 microns or smaller. Simple as that. Beaver fever is 0.5 microns, so I'm not going to get sick. Well, yeah, you could pick up, no, I'm not going to pick up a virus 20 miles out in the Maine woods. I'm not going to pick up mercury, so I'm not going to even worry about those. If I was in town, I wouldn't be using that filter. But for what I'm doing, the MSR MiniWorks ceramic filter is dead simple. A gorilla couldn't break it. The thing is just totally indestructible. It's a little bit heavy, but it works every time, no questions asked, and it's completely foolproof. Now, that having been said, let's talk about some other filters. Let me see, there's one out there that uses like an ultraviolet ray to kill all the bacteria. Now, I'm the same way with that. Sounds great, except for the fact that if I walk up where I usually get my water, which is in a sinkhole or under a stump or on a stream or in a pond, and I scoop it up, it's full of crap. It's full of frogs' eggs and pieces of leaves and sand and silt. Now, with this ultraviolet filter, from what I've read, you've got to clean that water up so it's crystal clear so the light will travel all the way through it. If it's the least bit murky, no worky. So you've got to filter that water, and you can't filter it through 3 t-shirts and get it crystal clear. You've got to really filter this water, or let it set for an afternoon to settle out and then skim off the clean water. Well, if I got to do all that, yeah, probably the ultraviolet would work just fantastic. But if I've got to do all that to get the water clean enough before I can do that, I'll just filter it. It's faster, it's easier, and I know it's safe. There's another one way you take some salt and put it with some water, and it charges it and puts it in there, and it somehow electrically, with ions or something, anyway, it kills it. Same thing there. The water's got to be clear. It's got to be clean. You've got to filter that. Well, I don't know any way to really filter water to get it crystal clear without carrying a fair amount of junk with me. So, by default, being a backpacker, an ultralight backpacker, by far the easiest way for me to do this is just to carry a ceramic filter. When the water comes out the other end, it's crystal clear. 0.2 micron. 0.2 microns. Plus, I put a charcoal filter in the line, and that takes out any bad taste, frogs' eggs, and all that stuff that's got a pretty bad taste to it. Leaves, pond water. You completely sterilize pond water, and it's still going to taste like pond water unless you run it through a fair amount of charcoal. So, for me, ceramic filter with a charcoal canister on the output side, it's the way to go. Dead simple, absolutely sure thing, works every time, and I can trust my life to it. All the rest of this high-tech chemical stuff, Not me. My life's too precious. I've had dysentery before, let me tell you. You don't want it. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, filter your water, and have a great day. Bye-bye.